The Friday Sports Riot on SportstownChicago.com.
What's up? This is the Friday Sports Riot. I'm Ryan Hoppy.
And I'm Ryan Stuppridge.
If you want to call the show, Ryan, it's not too hard. What's the number so they can get in contact with us?
630-403-5200. That's 630-403-5200.
And I'm on Twitter at HoppyRadio893 if you want to live tweet at us at our next guest. If you have any questions while we have them on. Ryan, so who is on the phone line right now?
From 670 The Score, we and a ICB alum, we have Herb Lawrence. Hello, Herb.
Hello, guys. How you guys doing?
Good.
We are doing good. So, Herb, what is your take on this nice tropical weather outside right now?
Well, as a man who likes to sweat, it's a little disturbing because I am in between right now. I work at 4 o'clock, and I come in with a sweater because I know when I leave at midnight it's going to be really cold. So I was sweating today, but I don't mind it. Overall, a 45, 50-degree day after this horrible winter is smooth for me.
Now, let's start off talking about some March Madness because we're in full swing now with March Madness. How is your bracket looking so far?
Lost a couple games, like the North Dakota State game and the Dayton-Ohio State game, but for the most part, my Sweet 16 is decently intact. I think I'll have 15 or 16 still left. No, actually 14 because Duke just lost.
Right.
So otherwise, I'm good. My Elite Eight is intact. My Final Four, of course, is intact. So, I'm like everybody, I'm not going to win the billion, but I'm smooth on winning this score tournament.
Oh, that's good.
We have here.
And now, what is your take on Duke losing to Mercer this afternoon?
I just think that Mercer plays a bunch of people who have had games together. They understand what the next guy does next to them, so they feel comfortable with their teammates, and they understand the offense that their coach runs, the defense that he runs. And so it's tough for a team like Duke, who all came together with Hood transferring over, Jabari being a freshman, the seniors on the team like Cook, all jumbled together and supposed to beat this Mercer team who's familiar with each other, and they're supposed to beat them with like superior talent, which doesn't always work especially in the tournament, but usually supposed to work in college basketball level. But it's tough when you have freshmen and sophomores coming together to win a game versus a team that's very familiar with each other.
Right. And yesterday, Dayton upset Ohio State with a nice layup with like 3 seconds left. How do you feel about that game, and do you think that Dayton could possibly beat Syracuse?
No, they're going to see something they've never probably seen before in their life. The 2-3 zone, the length of Syracuse is going to confuse and upset Dayton, and I believe Syracuse is going to romp. I don't understand how Ohio State didn't do what they had to do. They have players who have the greatest potential but don't always play to that, like Amir Williams, the guy I was talking about yesterday, LaQuentin Ross, last year had a great March. This year he wilted when the pressure hit.
Right.
Finally, you had something from Aaron Kraft yesterday, but I think, 5 turnovers? That's on Aaron Kraft-like, but I like him where he had the ball at the end of the game. He took the big shots, got him the lead, and then unfortunately missed the shot at the end because I was going for him. I had him in my Survivor Pool league, and they cost me a couple dollars.
What is your take on Aaron Kraft as a player overall? Could he make anything of himself in the NBA? What is your take?
It's tough. He's not that skilled at shooting. If he was a better outside shooter, I think he would have a chance in the NBA as a nice 8th, 9th option off the bench. But since he can't shoot, that's going to be tough for him to get any run in the NBA. He's not tall enough. That hustle only goes so far in the NBA. People are just going to be banging against him and playing off him, especially when he's on offense. So I don't think he was an NBA player. Probably a great career in Europe with the NBDL, but his NBA prospects are over. I don't think he's made for the NBA. If he develops a jump shot, maybe.
Yeah. Now, there was 2 good games last night as Texas won at the buzzer last night. and also San Diego State beating New Mexico State in overtime. What was your take on those two games?
San Diego State, New Mexico State, it's just a game with people that you really don't see that often, the West Coast teams. New Mexico State, of course, you don't see at all. But when you have Steve Fisher out there, a guy who's won a championship with Michigan back in 1989, you have a chance to do some damage. That San Diego State squad's always been a dangerous team. And the other game you're talking about was the Texas-Arizona State game. Pac-12, just largely disappointing this year.
Right.
Very overrated, I believe. And Arizona State gave Texas everything they can handle. Rick Barnes has his team back to where they should be after a couple down years. That buzzer beater by the big fella, Cam Ridley, I think his name was.
Yes.
Got us all hyped up here at the studio. We're yelling like people down the aisle were like, "Man, you guys got some money on this?" Like, no, it's just exciting basketball. When you see something, a buzzer beater, like there was 4 overtime games going on then, but it was good to see that finally we had a buzzer beater in one of those games, because those overtime games were good up until the overtime periods where most of the teams pretty much took over.
And now, what is your take on Harvard? As the last 2 years they have won in the second round, how far could this team make it this year?
I think Harvard's game is over now.
Yeah.
Michigan State is a different breed than Cincinnati. I had Harvard winning that game for Cincinnati because of the inconsistency the coach brings to the table. Mick Cronin's just not that very good coach. Kilpatrick, of course, had stretches where he wasn't scoring the ball yesterday, and that's what they need. They play a good enough defense where if Kilpatrick does his thing, they'll be fine. But he wasn't doing his thing. He usually scores a little higher than he did yesterday, and he really didn't do his thing. And Harvard, Michigan State is a different breed. They're going to score the basketball, and they're going to defend. So I don't think Harvard can keep up with the pace that Michigan State's going to bring to the table tomorrow evening.
Yeah, I agree with that, too. And Louisville squeaked out a win last night against Manhattan. Should Cardinal fans be worried as Louisville progresses through this tournament? Because a lot of people have them in their Final Fours. A lot of people have them in the championship game, too.
Yeah, I think that teams like that sometimes get that scare. And I'm sure Rick Pitino was very happy that his team didn't blow Manhattan out, because then they'll be feeling their oats. Now he could say, hey, guys, you see how close Manhattan got to you? Mm-hmm. You can teach them you got to bring your A game at all times, no matter what the opponent has across their chest, the name says across their chest. And so he had a good teaching moment today in practice. So tomorrow afternoon when they face St. Louis, they know exactly what they're up against, and sometimes a champion or a Final Four team needs that type of thing. They need the wake-up call to say, this is real, we need to get it. And especially like Russ Smith, his last tournament, he should be going out as a champion or a guy who makes to another Final Four.
And now, what is your take on Doug McDermott as a player overall? How far could Creighton go this year?
When you got a champion like that, I love Doug McDermott's game. His inside-outside game is unstoppable when he's on. And I got them going all the way to Elite Eight, but I like Wisconsin much more because of how Bo Ryan has his defense usually. Mm-hmm. Bo Ryan has his defense usually, and the offense this year with Sam Decker, Kaminsky doing their thing, I think that they're very much more tournament ready this year with Wisconsin. So Creighton's thing's going to end probably in the Sweet 16. And Doug McDermott, I like him as a pro, actually. I think he's a guy who can be a contributor, not a star, a nice, solid contributor, more like not a Kyle Korver, but a better player, like a better overall player. I think his game in the NBA will develop into a mid-range game instead of just solely the threes.
And real quick before we let you go, who do you have in your Final Four, and who do you have being the national champion?
I have Florida, Michigan State, Louisville, and I have Oklahoma. Nope. Let me check my thing. I know Oklahoma State. That'll be a mistake. I have Wisconsin, who's my fourth team.
Okay.
And I have Michigan State beating Louisville for the championship, 75-69.
Yeah.
I'm a big-time fan of what Michigan State does, what Tom Izzo is as a coach, and their veteran guards back there with Keith Appling and Gary Harris. I think it's a tough combination to beat.
And now, Herb, where can people find your work online?
Well, 670thescore.com is where we podcast our shows. Like, I usually produce the Lawrence Holmes Show, and so that's where you can go online and find Lawrence shows, and I do the Ask Herb thing at 9 o'clock on Tuesdays.
Right.
And this Sunday, I'm doing a show with Shepkowski, Nick Shepkowski, 6 to 10 o'clock p.m., like a wrap-up of the NCAA tournament. And they can find that also on 670thescore.com. But if they want to check out my dumb thoughts and such, they go to Facebook and look at Herb Lawrence or Ecknerwall23. It's just Lawrence spelled backwards, 23 on Facebook. Facebook on Twitter.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show again, Herb.
Nope.
We'd love to have you on again sometime.
No problem. Just call me. Tell Patrick Johnson I said what's up.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, then.
Thanks, Herb.
Thank you.
Peace.
We just asked Herb about March Madness.
Oh, how clever.
The Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com.